it's not blinking, so it should be good. Just check maybe with some people that are following. All right, let's get started. Sorry for the little delay, but we're trying to do something for like online streaming as a little test for people that are like in Chiang Mai or other parts of this planet. Amazing, amazing. See more and more people every week, and it's growing, and it's absolutely amazing. So for the people that don't know me, so my name is Edwin. I'm very excited that like this whole vibe is growing so fast on the island. I just want to make it very clear, which I do try to do every week, saying I'm not a financial advisor. I do this because I want to share what I've learned over the last 3 months, and you need to make your own financial decisions. I can just share what I've been doing and how I got into it. But out of all the addictions on the island, like soft drugs, hard drugs, pills, I think I became a crypto junkie in the last 3 months. And I have to say I'm very excited about it myself because of what is happening in the world. So the session today is like I do every week, like the basics, and you can come as many times as you want, just to make you understand where it started and what actually cryptocurrency is and blockchain technology, and why this is going to take over the world financially and technology-wise. So this is what I will do. If you have any questions, just yell them out, or this is also a place to share. So if you want to share your own experience or you want to present something here, this is not my show. This is really, truly, something for the community, and I'm working with Tony here to basically invite anybody that wants to share either technical topics or special items in the whole crypto world. So if you want, feel free to come and talk to us, and then you can be here. Amazing what's happening. I don't know who is following this on a day-to-day basis, but I try to I look at it on a day-to-day basis. I use this site called CoinGecko, where you can see the total amount of money that is basically currently in the crypto world. Yeah, so this was about 2 weeks ago. It was at $700 billion US. Yeah, if you look at it now, as of this morning, there's $1 trillion US that moved into cryptocurrency now. So that's a milestone that is like unheard of. This means that the last 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks, $300 billion US in capital moved from the fiat world into the crypto world. You have to ask yourself, like, how is that possible? Why is that happening? And what I would like you to leave with, for those of you that are not yet in the crypto world and are thinking, what is this and should I get involved? You might heard the term FOMO, fear of missing out. If I can give you one little hint and you leave today with that feeling from, oh my God, have I not been paying attention? Then that is good. Because if you're not into crypto yet, my recommendation is start paying attention, and if you have some savings, start getting into the crypto world, because it is changing and this is going to be bigger than the internet itself. My personal experience, I was actually in the university studying IT when the internet started coming up, and I was thinking, some of my friends in class had this, I'm going to be like an internet service provider, I'm going to do this, and I was thinking, I'm playing sports and having a good time and drinking. So I missed that entire episode. IT has always been good to me, but I didn't realize the opportunity. Personally, I truly feel that this is the second wave, that now the internet is so stable and we all use it in the world, that this is going to be bigger financially than the internet itself. So the emotions, if you start getting into it and you start understanding the potential and the change that is currently happening, you get personally I can say this, you get to excitement and euphoria about what's currently happening. It is just truly mind-boggling and amazing to see. But then if you start getting into crypto and you put some dollars into cryptocurrencies, and then you see the market, and then all of a sudden it goes down, and you start like, oh my God, I'm losing my money. My money, meaning your fiat currency, your dollars. You start to get fearful that, was this a good decision? And this is truly a graph that you'll find if you get into it and you get really enthusiastic about cryptocurrency, that you need to find your own way in it. But the trick is obviously that you don't buy when it's all the way up in the market. and you don't sell when it's at its lowest point. You need to try to reverse it. My best advice, if you get into it, if it's going down, just hold on to it. Just hold on to whatever coin you have, it will come back. Personal advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's my personal advice. Because this space is only going to get growing. I just took some snippets this morning about cryptocurrency and what you see on the internet, and it's flying by so fast on Twitter and Instagram, on news. Like, last night I saw the world's largest Bitcoin miners clients into Texas hotspots, where they're investing now millions and billions of dollars into building new mining centers for cryptocurrencies and to run these blockchain networks. The only thing is that I'll explain that in a little while. You have to ask yourself if it's good that it's more centralized again instead of decentralized, but I'll get to that. PayPal has launched a service that you can start paying in crypto. PayPal, they recognize that fiat currency will disappear over the next 10 years or will fade out over the next 20. Morgan Stanley recommends that Bitcoin as a central bank ramp up for money printing. The central banks in the world, they're just printing money due to this whole COVID situation to try to fill the gap. It's all fake money. There's nothing behind it anymore. No gold, no GDP, there's nothing. It's just paper. It's just becoming paper. So these big banks and these big financial institutions are also going to get into cryptocurrency. There's just no way around it, because this is the new money that they realize that they need to do something. And if you start reading, you'll see that these big institutions and banks are trying to press it down, saying, but it's all fake, it's not going to happen, like, it's just digital stuff. And they do this, my personal opinion, to manipulate the market, that the mass of people are still not getting into it, to manipulate the price so they can buy it up themselves. This Peter Schiff guy, even his he's one of the big banker guys, his son is even challenging him on the new crypto world. You're talking about the top US bank regulator says that banks can now start using blockchain technology as the new platforms. It's huge. It's huge. And this guy's got Stuart. Stuart is not here yet, right? He's in the crypto group. And while everybody's trying to, basically be anonymous, he wants to be known. So that's why I put his picture here. But he's not here yet. Funny, evolution of money. I don't know if you saw this one, but the US basically has made an announcement that they now want to give, on top of the $1,200 individual stimulus check in fiat currency, want to give people another $2,000 on top of it. And this was a funny cartoon that says, "Okay, Billy, it's your stimulus check. You need to use it for food, rent, etc." But Billy goes to the ATM machine and puts it into Ethereum, which is cryptocurrency. They go like, "No, Billy, don't stop. Put it in the crypto world." But it is very funny, because this in itself, giving every US citizen, is digging a hole of $3 trillion again. Yeah, on top of the 75, 80 trillion that we already don't have. If you think on average, the average US citizen owes about $100,000 US now, just to level the playing ground, so the US government doesn't have any debt. Imagine. Yeah, so you're thinking about the US dollar as a currency has a value, is just one big hole. And they just keep on printing more money. So the evolution of money, before we trade in camels and cows and chickens and stuff, we went to coins like gold coins, and we went to paper money, and we went to plastic cards. Everybody has a credit card and banking cards. It's just plastic money. What's happening now is digital assets, digital currency. It's the next part of the evolution of money. This was in Forbes magazine when they announced that they are giving everybody $2,000. I don't think it has been approved yet, but they are discussing this in Congress. But it says that's the best Bitcoin marketing campaign you could have launched, and this is the U.S. government making this statement. Yeah, this is the best statement for marketing they could have made to make people go to digital currencies. Mind-boggling. That's what we talked about. Everything is going up. So let me step back and talk about the basics of Bitcoin and where it started, so you have an understanding about the value of this new digital world. And what you need to think about is banking and banks. Obviously, everybody here has probably a bank account somewhere at a bank, and the bank holds your ledger. Yeah, they hold your account and the value you have in your account, and for that they charging you money. Banks now got to the point that they charge you money for holding your money. Yeah, negative interest. This whole movement is about, taking the banks out of this world, in the sense that transactions should not go through a third party, but should go directly between people. And this is where it all started. So imagine currently that if I want to send my US dollars through the current system in the banking, it's going to cost me $45, and it takes 1 week to go from bank to bank to bank. So if I send myself $1,000, I get $900 back of my own money, and the rest stays somewhere with the banks. So think about ledgers at the bank, because that's exactly what is changing. Ledgers at the bank. So how does this work? Or how did it start? So in 2008, 2009, there was this guy Satoshi Nakamoto, or a group of people that came up with the philosophy of a Bitcoin. They don't know if it's a person, but it must have been a group of people that were at the start of this, because of the complexity and the engineering minds behind this. Because what they wanted to do is they wanted to create something for people, that buys you freedom. Freedom from the system, financial freedom, and come up with a better way, so we are not subject necessarily to banks or governments or taxes or whatever. So they wanted to create something that is more efficient and is not costing you money. So what they did is that they got into creating a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. That means that in the crypto world, the money doesn't go from your account in the bank, from your account in the bank to somebody else, but the money goes directly from your own wallet on your phone or on your laptop directly to the person or to the institution you want to send it to. A peer-to-peer network. This is how it works. So that means you are becoming your own bank. And I'll make that statement again. You are becoming your own bank. What that means is that banks are guaranteeing up to $100,000 or $200,000 your account, and that you have the money there. In this new world, you are your own bank. So if you don't keep your passwords or your security codes or your things really hidden, you run the risk that you lose everything. Key message: you becoming your own bank. So how does it work? In this new world, it's not going to go through a ledger anymore. The bank is not keeping your record. But what happens is you are basically sending coins or cryptocurrency from one person to the other. And that book that the bank has, called the ledger, where they hold all the transactions, is no longer at the bank in the bank's IT system, but it's going to be distributed, decentralized. So the word that you hear in this new digital currency world is decentralized. Decentralized. So that means that there's no computer system at a bank, but it's in thousands of computers. Decentralized. So how does this work? If you're thinking about decentralized, everybody has a laptop these days, but you need to think about the billions of people that now have a laptop or a computer, and there's many companies that have very powerful computer systems. And these companies or individuals have invested a lot of money in, for instance, mining, Bitcoin mining. Maybe you heard of it, and I'll explain what that is. But decentralized means that there's a network, and I have a simplified picture here. Think about 5 computers. 5 computers that all have a copy of that ledger. They all hold a copy of all the transactions that we do to each other and we do to each other, and it's out on the internet. So all the transactions are basically visible on the internet. Public information, not within a bank that holds it behind closed doors and charge you money for it, but this is public. You can just see crypto money moving. The whole philosophy behind this is that if you have 5 computers, that all these computers need to consent and need to verify that the transactions are unique. That I sent you $1 and I sent you $1, and all the computers must verify these transactions, saying, it's unique. they write it into their ledger, yeah, but they don't secure it yet. So these computers are called like nodes, and I'm simplifying the world, but they're called nodes, and these nodes are in the network and they play a certain role, and for having this computer in the network they're getting paid. Yes, getting paid for electricity and transaction costs and things. But these nodes basically verify these transactions. And then there's computers, and they're called miners. Yeah, and you need to think about a warehouse is full of computers, and I'll show you a picture. Warehouse is full of computers. At the moment, China is the biggest player in cryptocurrency, and I heard Iran, if I'm not mistaken, they're having like warehouses full of computer power. But in essence, these 5 computers need to agree that these transactions between people are unique and they are verified. And even if there's 2 nodes or 2 computers in that network saying, yeah, it's not right, the network always assumes that as the majority of the computers agree, then that is a valid transaction. Yeah, and it's called consensus. So these computers in their software need to agree, and then they basically log this transaction that people do in cryptocurrency to each other. What are you doing here?
He wants Bitcoin.
Yeah, he wants to have Bitcoins. So how does this work? And I'll start with Bitcoin. Maybe you heard about it. People do Bitcoin mining. Yeah, Bitcoin mining is done by computers and people running computers, and they use software and hardware, meaning like a computer, but they have, these days just boxes of computers. So they have a software that is basically Bitcoin software that has the whole protocol of how Bitcoin is working in software, so it's all digital. And then they have computers that run that software. And what are these computers trying to do? In a very simplistic way, is they trying to find a key. And they trying to find a key by encryption technology. And encryption technology, it's already outdated, but it's basically securing messages that if we send each other an email, sometimes on WhatsApp, you see it's encrypted. That means that they take your message of something, they encrypt it so nobody can read it, and they send it to the other side, and the other person has also the same key and he can decrypt it. Yeah? So these computers are actually trying to find a key, and that key is really important to them. And that's all they're trying to do. And why do they need this key? In my previous slide I was saying that all these transactions that these nodes in the computer system, in the computer networks are collecting, they're putting this in a pool. They call this like a pool, a transaction pool. And this transaction pool is growing and growing and growing. So all these transactions are written out there for everybody transferring money. And then what happens? Out of these transactions, miners, meaning these miners are making blocks, and basically they're sealing these transactions into a block. Yeah, you need to think about a digital block, but basically if you look at it on the internet and you can see it, you can look at any block and you can see all the transactions from anybody to anybody. But this is, how do you say, not public information, it's private information, because a key consists, a wallet, if you will, consists of a string of characters, and nobody doesn't know that it belongs to you or to anybody. But all of this can be found on the internet. These transactions need to be captured in what they call a block. I'll fast forward, otherwise my train doesn't show up. I don't know why my train doesn't show up. But I had a picture here. I compare it to a block train. You need to think about, originally Bitcoin started with block number 0. Yeah, that had transactions in it, and they calculated that, and they made the second block, block number 1, block number 2, block number 3. Every 10 minutes a new block is generated by these miners. So they've taken all these transactions, they wrap it up into a block, they create this key, so they send this key out into the network if they are the first one, because this is how miners make money. Yeah, so they send an encryption key that is a unique set of characters that seals this block. Yeah, And after the other computers in the network, the other miners agree that this block doesn't exist yet and it meets the protocol standard, they seal it, and for that, these miners are getting a reward. And this is how they make money. So at the moment, for every block, every 10 minutes, they are making 6.25 Bitcoin. 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes for whoever creates that block. Yeah, and there's hundreds or thousands of computers that are competing to create these blocks because that's where the money in mining is for Bitcoin. Does that make some sense? So they get 6.25, which a couple of weeks ago was 120, but now it's 6 times what, 37,000? Yeah, so with the value of Bitcoin going up, obviously the amount of money that they're making is going up. And they do this every 10 minutes. Somebody is getting a reward for creating this block with all the transaction in it. They seal it and they put it into the blockchain. They put it into the blockchain. And that is why this whole crypto world is becoming so powerful, because the chain can never be broken. Why? Because block number 0 has block number 1 attached, and block number 1 has the key for block number 0. Number 2 has it for 1, number 3 has it for 2. So they built the chain, yeah, but if even one digit changes from a 0 to a 1 or the other way around, the whole train is broken. And that cannot happen. And that's why, if you're thinking about transparency of information, it is so powerful, because people cannot manipulate anymore what happened in block 1. These transactions that happened, yeah, you can never change them again, ever. If you're thinking about computer systems at banks or software companies, there's always an administrator, there's always somebody has access, so they can manipulate still the data from 10 years ago. With this new technology, in blockchain technology, you cannot do that, because the whole train will break. And what I said a slide before, saying all these computers in the network all look at this blockchain, this blockchain, and they have one rule, or they have multiple rules, but one of the rules is that the longest train is the valid train. And what does that mean? So you need to think about, there's thousands of computers around the world. There's computers in China, here in Thailand, in Europe, in the United States. You know, so there's a time difference. That means that it's sometimes possible that that somebody's creating a block and it gets verified and they say yes, 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 but then it might be block number 4 that is not, how do you say, is not a valid block, or in the meantime the chain is already at block number 7. Yeah, so it's possible that due to the time difference in the world and computing power and speed of the network, that sometimes these miners are following the wrong train, if you will. But what happens then is, the rule is they follow the longest chain. So if they're then at block number 10, they drop all the transactions back in the pool because they have to release them, and these transactions will be picked up in the next block. So it's a very, how do you say, a very interesting protocol and piece of engineering that they did on how this works. Yeah, so they thought about all this. Now in 2013, because this is all brand new technology, it's only like 10 years old, but if you see the speed at which this is developing, it's really mind-boggling. But in 2013, something happened to Bitcoin, and the train broke. Because what they did is that they upgraded the software, and half the world had the new software and half the world had the old software. So they were running on 2 different versions of software. So one part of the world was basically following train number A and the other one was following train number B. So they realized that pretty quickly, and then the community, meaning people that have something to say about Bitcoin, because it is truly community software. Yeah, it's not Bitcoin. There's no organization you can call called Bitcoin and pick up the phone and say it's 100 Bitcoin. Bitcoin belongs to everybody. It's an open source software that you as a Bitcoin holder have influence on, because you can help making decisions about what to do. Coming back, so the train breaking, what they decided to do back then is saying they reached out to the community, everybody holding Bitcoins, and said, what do we do? And the programmer said, there's a couple of options. We can make 2 trains, or we can drop this train and reissue coins and follow the longest train. And the community decided, let's have 2 trains. So that's why there's Bitcoin Cash and there's Bitcoin. Yes? Why does it happen? again, this is new technology. Yeah, new technology needs some time to mature. You know, Mercedes didn't come up with the latest version of their car. It took them 100 years. In technologies these days, this is now so secure that you saw the statements that I had in the news articles. The banks are now allowed to do this. The federal government is trying to govern it. You know, which basically means they acknowledge that this digital currency is actually real money. Yeah, so it's good in a sense because they see, yes, it's real money. It's bad in a sense because they want to have a piece of your taxes on it. Yeah, but technology is really fast, so before they get to understand how all that works, I think there's a lot of potential that everybody can benefit from, you know, in the next couple of years. So, Bitcoins, it seems like a lot of money that they make, but basically this money that these miners make is used for gas. They're talking about gas money, but it's actually electricity money. So if you take, you know, if you search on Google for mining company, Bitcoin mining companies, you'll see pictures like this, literally like warehouses full of computers. And that takes a tremendous amount of computing power. Yeah. In this whole Bitcoin software, at the moment they're getting 6.25 Bitcoin. What the guys that built it did is that every 4 years this reward is getting slashed in half. Every 4 years. So they started out, I don't know, with block number 1 and people got like 1,000. And then it became 500, 250, and now they're at 625 for another 2 years, and then it goes through 3. So at the moment, I'm sure it's a little bit more, but there's in this whole philosophy, in this whole protocol, there's going to be only 21 million Bitcoins. And that's it. It's like gold. There's no more Bitcoins. 21 million, that's it. And that's why it becomes so valuable, because they cannot issue more Bitcoins. Because that is protected by the software and the whole protocol. So you cannot issue more than 21 million Bitcoins. Currently there's about 18 million, say 19 million by now, that are obviously already taken out. They're already mined. So these are all the unique keys. They're all the, you know, the Bitcoins that have been mined. So there's still about 3, maybe 4 left, but 3 million left. But the funny thing is that due to the fact that it gets slashed in half every 4 years, it becomes more and more and more difficult to find the keys, because the encryption that needs to happen takes all the computer power. So they currently estimate that it will still take like 80 years before the last Bitcoin is mined. Yeah, and then one more thing is that, because, you know, so what is happening then with these mining companies, that once the last one is found, there's no more mining. So how do they make money? But they also make money on the transactions in the pool. So you still pay some gas fee when you send money. But if you look at how much money you send in the crypto world and how much money you pay for transaction fees to get money from one person to the other, it's a fraction of what the banks are charging you or us. Really quick on this proof of work and proof of stake. There's, you know, like I was saying, this evolution is going so fast that obviously so many very intelligent people come up with different ways to validate, because this whole blockchain technology is consuming such an amount of energy that is really not sustainable in a sense. So engineers started to move away from that, and they came up with a different protocol, like a proof of stake. And the proof of stake still has, how do you say, it still has mining fees to create new Ethereum coins, but it is a much more efficient energy efficient protocol. So they have different ways of verifying and validating these transactions that we do to each other. So in a sense, this Bitcoin is really unique, because that was the basis, and it's really unique because of the way that they have come up with the proof of work to validate and to create these blocks and to do the Bitcoin rewards for it. All these new ones that are now coming, they have, like, you know, way different ways of validating transactions. But the most powerful piece that they're actually using is called this blockchain technology that I just explained, because how you can use it in the world is just endless. I forgot to mention that in the slide, but if you look at this CoinGecko.com, so Bitcoin is one cryptocurrency. I call it digital assets because all of them are different. But in the meantime, there's like 6,100 digital coins. 6,100 digital coins, and growing every day. Yeah, and this is not Bitcoin, and that's where it becomes interesting, because people come up with different, applications for it. So just to give you an idea about, okay, it's not only Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is great. Everybody knows the word Bitcoin and what it can do, and that it's $37,000 for one Bitcoin. And by the way, so you don't need $37,000 to get into Bitcoin, because you can pay and buy 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin. So you can get in for $10 or whatever. Yes, that's the smallest part of a Bitcoin that you can buy. So if you have $100, you can buy Bitcoin. You just get a very small piece of it. What else can you do? Cryptocurrency is also like a development platform for software, and they are referring to that as Dapps. So currently on your phone and on your computer you have apps, yeah, like your Microsoft PowerPoint or your apps that you use on your phone. Those are applications. In this new blockchain technology, they call them Dapps, for decentralized applications. That is built on the same philosophy and the same foundation as Bitcoin. It is decentralized applications that run everywhere on thousands of computers. It is no longer in one place. So it's no longer, for instance, at Google in their data center that they have software running. It runs on thousands of computers. Decentralized applications, and that's where now this whole market is making so much money, and there's so many interesting projects that are happening. Tokenizing. Very interesting new concept if you think about real estate. There are now, and you can look it up online, there's already companies that do it, that if you think about you buying a building or a house, you can, in this new world, create a contract, and you can basically split up your house in however many pieces you want, digital pieces. So if you buy a house for $100,000, you could decide to tokenize your house and issue 100,000 tokens that people in the world can buy. So you go, why would that be interesting? Well, if you buy property for investment, for instance, yeah, and you know that this property will be rented out, you can get 5% or 10% interest on those coins. And they call this tokenizing assets. And there's already companies out there that do it. So if you look at tokenizing, and you can tokenize anything. I could do this for Buddha Cafe, whatever you think can hold a value. That's the whole philosophy of blockchain technology, that you can make your own money. Yeah, as long as people believe in it. As long as people believe in that your concept is really good and people give you money, endless opportunities. What else can you do? You can loan your money, like, if you buy, for instance, Ethereum or Bitcoin, you can give it to a company, and you can get interest on it. You can get interest in Bitcoin, or you can get interest in a different coin. And this is also called like staking and bonds. It is the same way it works in the world of fiat currency. However, the ability to make money in this digital world is like 100 times bigger. There's interesting coins that I got into that I won't discuss today, but it's called Base Protocol. There's this one coin that represents the entire cryptocurrency, and it follows the value of the entire the entire crypto market. So at the moment it is $1 trillion. So that means that coin is worth now $1 after today. But this is an interesting coin, but you need to understand how that one works. If you have any questions about that, I can explain to you how that works. Another couple of quick reminders of what it works. How do you get into this new digital money? Yeah, because it is actually very complex, because you have to spend a lot of time to understand the technology and to understand projects and to understand what they're actually trying to do and the potential, and watching videos, etc. So the way that you can get into it is growing by the day. So the easiest way to do it is actually, or one of the ways to do it, it's not the easiest way anymore, but there's exchanges. And there's exchanges that basically take your dollar or your Thai baht or your euros, and you can exchange it for digital currency. Yes? So once you connect your bank account to it, you basically can move your fiat money over into what they call, like, for instance, a stable coin. This is the way I do it. So I have my US bank account, and I moved money and I bought USD coins. And these stable coins are exactly what the word says they are. They are stable coins. They keep them pegged to the US dollar or to the euro, and there's different fiat currencies that you have different coins for. Stable coins. Very important, because in this whole world there's Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is special. You have stable coins, and then there's also something called altcoins, alternative coins. This means any other coin that is not a Bitcoin. So how can you get in here in Thailand? They have Bitcube. I use like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, CoinList. If you find one of them for your country or wherever you have your bank accounts, you want to start, make sure you do some research on Google on the right ones. Yeah, because there's in the meantime like 600 of them I saw. So I'm sure that there's some flaky ones in there that are not supported or not recognized, because the governments now are trying to, they are enforcing these companies to register as an exchange. And if they don't do that, they will take them out of business. Yeah, this is the first step that the governments now are taking to basically try to manage all this money disappearing from the bank accounts in the world. Yeah, and that's inevitable. Yeah, and if they don't register as an exchange, yeah, in other words, the governments cannot track where the money actually went into the new crypto world, then these companies will no longer be existing a year from now. So do some homework on it. For me personally, the Coinbase is the easiest one. It's a really big one. Binance, Kraken. I don't know if anybody else using different ones, but do your homework on it. The other way that you can do is that, you know, they have already crypto ATMs. I'm trying to get one, but basically it's an ATM, like you go to the money machine and you get money out of your bank account, for which they charge you 220 Thai baht. You can also get it out of an ATM machine, so you can get cryptocurrency out of an ATM machine. But there is only 4 at the moment in Thailand. I'm trying to get one, but it's not so easy. But there's also websites that you can go to, like localcrypto.com, and I can explain how this works. If you're interested to get into that, then I can get you cryptos if you want for fiat currency. Yeah, but these are basically a simple exchange platform that if you don't want to go through all the hassle of setting up accounts and getting verified and trying to understand how this all works, there's easy sites to just get crypto. Wallets, they're talking about wallets. Just like you have your paper wallet and you have Thai baht, in the new digital world you also have crypto wallets. And crypto wallets, you can have them on your phone and on your PC, laptop, but basically they hold different coins. And all these different wallets have different coins that they support. So there's no one wallet that you could have at the moment that holds everything. So wallets. So when you open an exchange account, you're already going to get a wallet. Otherwise, you cannot do the exchange, and you can swap it for different coins. But you have wallets like Exodus or Coinbase, and you can actually you can have them on your phone. And reverting back to what I said at the beginning, don't lose your freaking phone. Don't lose your passwords. Don't lose whatever security words. Make sure you make a backup, and make a backup of the backup, and make sure that it's somewhere else outside your house. Yeah, if you lose your password or your access to your digital money, you might be screwed. Yeah, you are your own bank. There's nobody else you can call to say, hey, I lost my Bitcoin. Well, you should have paid attention. You are your own bank. What's next? So Bitcoin was built, obviously very successful, and like I was talking about these Dapps, decentralized applications. Yes, decentralized applications need to be built on platforms. And when I say platform, it's like Windows, it's like Apple. Yeah, these are platforms. Unix, whatever. So there's 3 of them. Maybe you heard of Ethereum, it's the biggest one. It's a platform that basically runs Dapps. So it is the new Windows of the new digital world. Yeah, so if you ask me, once again, it's my personal opinion about if you want to get invested into Ethereum, I think it's a pretty safe bet because it will not go away. Because if that one goes away, then everything goes away. Polkadot is the second one. Yeah, and Polkadot is the new evolution of this blockchain technology platform. And what's the difference between Ethereum and Polkadot is that Polkadot allows communication between different blockchains. Because if you remember the block train that I was explaining, this is basically one train that holds all these transactions. Yeah, but it's one long train. But if you look at this digital train, you can look all the way back to the locomotive. But Polkadot makes it possible to exchange data between trains. And I'll explain why that is so valuable in the next slide. So Cardano is another one. And you can see if you look at the prices of it, this one is trading at the moment, which is absolutely crazy. $1,100. Yeah, this one went to $10. And this one, I don't know at the moment, it's like 18 cents. 30? This
0.33.
okay, so 33 cents. And why is there such a big difference? Because these guys were the first. This is new technology and is up and coming. But this one is going to be big, my personal opinion. And then you have Cardano that has not launched yet. But the funny thing is that all these people that are like experts in this world, behind Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cardano, these were the early adopters and people that are mathematicians and computer scientists. And these guys all have now their own projects after they obviously became very wealthy in Bitcoin. But that's why you see these three platforms, and these are basically run by three people that have been in this industry since the beginning. It's very interesting to see.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
You see a limit in Ethereum is reaching almost all-time high?
Yeah, so Ethereum was at $1,500 2 years ago. Yeah, all-time high. To be honest, I'm watching it every day and I cannot believe what I'm seeing, because it seems like the graph is like falling backwards almost. It's just going. It went double the price in the last 2 weeks. It went from $4 or $5 to now $1,100. I'm sorry, for $500 to $11. So I know there's quite a few people here in the Zoom, including myself, that go like, "Oh my God!" Yeah. So now we go like in the graph about fear of missing out and anxiety, and go like, I to be honest, I don't know if I now should sell it off, because then it's when you make money. Yeah. So if I would sell it now at $1,100 and I wait for the next wave to go down and then buy in again, that's where you make money. But all-time high was 1,500. They say the people that I follow, like Ivan on Tech is one of the people that I follow on a daily basis, and he goes into these deep analysis, and he shows that the trending of Ethereum follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads everything. So Ethereum is following Bitcoin, and the altcoins, all the other coins, he calls it altcoin season, they're always trailing behind of what Bitcoin is doing. So that is a very important thing. So I'm holding on to it at the moment, but I'm looking at it every day. Yeah. But yeah, I think it will go over $1,500, and then I go like, all right, I'll go sell it and wait for the next wave. Because what is happening logically, maybe I'm old school, but I go like, if you look at the graphs, it's going like this, and there's no foundation in what they're talking about. What is this? But it is technology. If people ask you what is digital currency, it is technology, and technology runs our world. It runs your world. Look how much time we spend on the phone. Software, technology, security, everything is IT. Yeah, people say, yeah, but there is no gold behind it. Well, freak, there's software, there's technology behind it. There are companies behind it. So if you're interested, I'm more than happy to share. I started keeping a list of all the sites that I'm using and where I find information and exchange with people in the crypto group, to get more understanding about how this works. Yeah, I just made this slide to show you this was like a week ago, like 700. Yeah, it's over $1,100. This one is 11. Polkadot is something like $11. This one is now 33. It went up 100% in the last 2 weeks. Internet, obviously on YouTube. If you're interested, you should look for this guy, Chico Crypto. He's a very interesting guy from the US. You go like, when you first see him, go like, what is this clown? But he is so, so in depth of technology, and understands this crypto world better than most people on this planet. And he gives you the analysis. It's all free information. It's very interesting. So Ivan on Tech, and then there's Chico Crypto, and there's tons of information. But my recommendation, follow these two guys and make up your own mind, but they give you all the free information you need. Oh, that's him again. Stuart is still not here, no? No, you'll be so disappointed. Yeah. So one of the things that, like I said, I'm kind of became a junkie. So I'm looking and say, okay, what can we do here on the island? Yeah. So I talked to some people saying the fact that you are all here shows me from what a month ago I had like 10 people. That it's growing and the interest is growing. So why do I spend my time doing this? Because I would love for you all to come and support this movement and get into crypto, because that will show the government and the financial institution that this train is already unstoppable. And secondly, it gives you financial opportunities. So if you have some savings, you're like, I just say, open your eyes, check it out, because you're going to miss out. That's my personal opinion. But this is the time to get in. It is still very early stages. But the reason why I'm doing this, because I would like to share and get more information from other people, and to get into it. Everybody should adopt this technology and these new cryptocurrencies. One of the things that I'm working on is there's many sites they can use, but one of them is gocrypto.com. So if one of my ideas or vision is to use this website where businesses here on the island can accept cryptocurrency, but they're going to get it paid in Thai baht. So if I look at the moment on this map, there's already 4 companies that adopted this, 5 actually then, 5 companies that use this software to accept cryptocurrency. I would love for Koh Phangan to be known as Crypto Island, as one of the first ones in the world. So I'm going to do free seminars for businesses on the island about how to set it up and how to use it, and give them then a sign saying, we accept cryptocurrency. I can only dream about the day that I go get a pancake in Sri Tanu from the lady on the corner and says, can you pay me in Bitcoin Cash, please? I mean, that would be wonderful, right? That would be wonderful. And I think that is also the vision of some people that are here today from Forward Phangan, that really want to help this island propel into the future of getting like different kind of tourism, to help the local Thai people, to help the economy, and to attract people like digital nomads that are basically in the crypto world, that can be here and basically lift up the image of the island and make it really truly a new place to be. And I think personally, I've been here 2 years. I think it has all the potential in a very short amount of time to become Crypto Island. So this is something that I will start offering to local businesses, and this is what I see for Crypto Island in Koh Phangan. Everybody paying each other. That we look at each other saying, I don't have any Thai baht on me, so I'll just pay me in crypto. That's basically it, what I had for today. I don't know if anybody has any special coins or special things that they looked at. Personally, the money I put into it, I put half my life savings into it already, so I'm quite serious. But I put it into Ethereum, Polkadot, and Chainlink as the big ones. Yes, Chainlink is a second foundation layer underneath the whole Ethereum network. So that one also will not go away. There was a hint that I got yesterday from this guy Ivan, and he was mentioning, he was looking at that one, he said that one actually, it went up like 20% in the last day, but he said that one is still not going, and he said it's a no-brainer, that one will go. So I bought them yesterday, and I made 20% on that in one day. In one day. Yes.
Can you explain the difference between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin Cash basically was part of the problem that was created in 2013, when they did a software upgrade. So the guys that basically the engineers in the network, or people that are developers, came up with a new protocol, and it had something to do with the size of a block. And they wanted to expand the size of the block from 1 megabyte of transactions and data to 2 megabyte. And half the chain, when they released the software, it can obviously not be deployed instantly. So half the computers that run the networks, like the miners, got new software, and the other ones were the old software. So that way they were following 2 trains all of a sudden. And that's why you got Bitcoin Cash in one train, which is a shorter train, but it's at about $500 at the moment, and the other one is Bitcoin.
Okay, then my question was wrong, sorry. For payment, we're gonna use Bitcoin Cash?
You can use anything.
I know, but you were saying, like...
Is it what?
I am also following Ivan, and he was not talking good about Bitcoin Cash, but I didn't understand the difference. I actually thought it's a different brand.
Well, I think the way he's looking at it, saying you need to think is okay, so it's worth $500 Bitcoin Cash. That means that half the people in the network, the miners, believe that Bitcoin Cash was something good, because you also need a network to continue that coin and to run this network. But it's a much smaller network. So I think that's why he's thinking the value is not there, although it might keep its value until they also have like 21 million Bitcoin Cash coins. Yeah, but the community at large is all focused on Bitcoin. I think that's where he's coming from. Yeah. Oh, I have a real estate friend in the Netherlands. I already sent him 3 messages. Said, dude, we need to get on this. You'll be the first one in the Netherlands.
Yeah, in the country where Bitcoins are now popular.
Yeah.
First inspiration.
I think it will revolutionize the world. I think, yes, it will definitely be the future. Tokenizing. There's one coin called, what is it, Mana? Mana is the coin is called Decentraland. So I looked at that, somebody mentioned it, I looked at it, and what it basically is, it's a new digital world. Like if you think about video gaming online, yes? You can buy this coin, and you can log on to this website called Decentraland, and you can actually walk around in this virtual world on your computer. And I was thinking, why would that be valuable? So you can buy a piece of digital land in your computer, and I could build Buddha Cafe digitally next to their first plaza that they built. And I was thinking, who's gonna do that? But then think about how many billions of dollars are spent in online gaming. Yeah, so pretty soon, when they continue developing this, you're going to be able to walk through your own town digitally, and and play video games in real life scenarios. Yeah, so that's why I go like, okay, I'll buy a few of them. But tokenizing, I think, is definitely a good idea. Yes.
I would have a question on how would you actually make money of your investment in Bitcoin or similar ones? Because you say you put your savings in, and then say in one day it goes up 20%.
Yeah.
But it's not like there's a monthly or daily or yearly revenue. Nobody is
Correct.
paying you for your shares. So
Correct.
unless you're actively buying and then selling again, you're not really making any money off it, right?
Correct. That's why they have stable coins. So stable coins are pegged to the US dollar or to the euro. So stable coin. So there's US dollar coin or BUS USD or US dollar Tether. And these are $1. $1 to the US $1. So what I don't do day trading. You can do day trading. That I know some people here that do day trading and make their money in day trading. Yeah. And all the tools are available to learn that. And we will start giving classes on how you want to do that, because you can make money with it. Yeah, day trading. But what I do is I go more like wave swapping. So I watch, and then I just swap coins. It's also trading, because now if I would sell Polkadot, I will go to Uniswap or one of the others, and I'll take my Polkadot and I'll swap it for a US dollar, and then I let it sit in US dollar until the wave goes down, and I see the feeling that it will go back up. But yes, you make dollar right now when it's up. You should sell it, at least a portion of it, and wait until it goes down again, because the volatility in these cryptocurrency is still pretty high. Yeah, you see Bitcoin one day it's 37, the next day it's 30, then 35. But this is where people make millions of dollars trading. Millions. So it is all about how much energy you want to get into it. If you're looking for making money, my recommendation is spend 6 months or a year to learn day trading, and you can do day trading from anywhere in the world. And you're not stuck to an office, you're not stuck to a boss, you can do it yourself. And I know 3 people, personal friends that I know do day trading, and one of them is in the Netherlands, and he started with nothing. He was bankrupt and he borrowed some money, and now I'm working with him on a daily basis, and he's just paying his bills from it. It's amazing. Yes. Yes, because
Yeah, I wanted to share my experience that I was talking to you about.
Please.
So I was at the meeting last Wednesday, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And Edwin had mentioned Bitcoin, which is the Thai exchange. And I'm a U.S. citizen, so I went through the verification. 48 hours later, I got a mail back saying we're not currently registering U.S. citizens. So I think U.S. citizens are facing particularly stringent barriers and obstacles, and I haven't figured anything out. I had registered with Binance and then tried to pay with a credit card, and they said, well, the issuing bank is not the same as the country that you're in right now. And then when I tried to go through the VPN, it said, well, this is not Binance US website. So, you know, I'm considering using a VPN, but I don't want to do anything that's overtly illegal.
Right.
And I don't know what that is.
But to be honest, there's nothing illegal at the moment because there's no
Yeah.
governance.
Yeah. So, but anyway, just for any US, so that was like 48 hours of me just waiting, like, okay, I'm gonna like get going on BitCook, and then they said no.
But see what you learned in this journey.
Yeah.
But do you have cryptocurrency now?
No, it's. I mean, it was just.
I'll help you out.
Okay, thanks.
No, but that's the thing. You need to go to KYC is what they're talking about. Know
Yeah,
your
yeah.
customers,
Yeah.
and that's where the governments are focusing first. The governments want to know, you know, who is putting money into the crypto world, because that's the only visibility they have about how much money that you put into this crypto world. Because the beauty of this is that once you put it into a crypto wallet, yeah, suppose that you get $10 US and you put it into a crypto wallet and you make it into I don't know, Ethereum, yeah, then you can see that it's in your Ethereum wallet, but your Ethereum wallet at the exchange is still known, yeah, because they know that you hold that account, so it must be your wallet. But if you move it to an Exodus wallet or to a different platform, they don't know who owns that other one, because it could be an unregistered address. So meaning that if you move your money once, then they lose all visibility. So where are they going to get people? Yeah, where are they going to get tax? Once you start taking money out, because then they're going to look at how much did you put in and how much are you getting out. And the legislation in the US was talking about they wanted to set the limit at $3,000 per transaction or something. Well, imagine if you have 5 million in Bitcoin, it's going to take you a little while.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot about, you know, the strong AML, anti-money laundering.
Yeah, that's what they say, but that has changed now.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Bitcoin obviously was used on the dark web for weapon transactions and all, but it has evolved now into digital money. So my personal opinion, like, you know, the U.S. government, yeah, they don't allow basically cryptocurrency, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't allow it, but they cannot stop it.
Yeah.
And certainly a country, I'm a U.S. citizen myself. It's certainly a country in the US that is built on entrepreneurs and people,
Yes.
you know, people building. They cannot stop it. They will not be able to stop it.
Can I give you one suggestion? You can use local bitcoins and you can buy with no KYC. He told before you called it local crypto, but it's called,
Yeah.
it's called local bitcoin, you know,
Yeah.
the website.
Then there's two.
Yeah, okay. And you can just buy it afterwards.
Yeah, so if you're interested, I can show you how that works, and then
Okay.
you can get you started on that.
Thank you.
So is that kind of what, when you're talking about moving money around, especially like foreign exchange markets, right? Like, because I recently, one of my friends is really into foreign exchange markets.
Yeah.
And, you know, day trading with foreign exchange. So couldn't you theoretically, right, use cryptocurrency and, you know, invest your money, like let's say I invest $5,000 US into Ethereum, and then I want to use that money here in Thailand. I'm circumventing the exchange rate, right?
Yes.
Theoretically.
That's
so,
exactly.
so that's the whole like thing is
Yes.
they're trying to implement laws to stop that.
Yeah, but they cannot. See, at the end of the day, like, you know, it's difficult. In the beginning, when I started looking at it, it's difficult to let go and say, yeah, but where's my bank account? Or, you know, yeah, but how do I get it back into dollars? And our mind are so programmed that you still need a dollar or a Thai baht, and you know, you need bills in your hands. But that is all going to disappear. You know, within the next 10 years, you'll be able to buy stuff with all the different cryptos. Yeah, credit cards now. It's called. I was looking at it yesterday. You can get a Visa credit card with a coin called CROs. Yeah, and you actually get a Visa card that you can use at any transaction, and they basically convert it so you can buy crypto and pay wherever in the world you go. Yeah, so that market, that whole space is changing so fast, it is really crazy.
Just one comment question about this. Like,
Yeah.
what I see, I also just entered, but depending on the platform you're like buying, trading with, or where you want to send the crypto, the amount of fees are not always just small.
No, it's still also fluctuating because of gas money in the networks. Like Ethereum is now going to version 2.0 because of a more efficient protocol. So meaning gas money should go down.
But I mean, this is also affecting the way of like paying somebody or sending crypto here and there.
Yeah.
For me, it's also extremely confusing which coins to take. They differ a lot from sending to this platform or this platform. Some coins are cheaper, some are higher. It's really wow.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can always convert it back to the US dollar or to the Thai baht, so you know what it is in Thai baht. So it doesn't matter if you pay in a Bitcoin or you pay in an Ethereum or whatever. You can always convert it back to what your reference point is.
Do you have a preference, like maybe in a stable coin or some, I don't know, which coins are best to send crypto to somewhere?
Oh, at the moment I would say don't send anything because everything's going up. So the moment I have people paid me for coffee here and they paid me like in Bitcoin, they're like, that's great because I sold that coffee and they paid me basically like $8 for a cup of coffee. They're like, that's good, thank you. Yeah, because that's the whole mindset. So if you pay in crypto, you find one of the ones that is more stable at the moment, I would say. But that's the whole game that you can play. But one thing that you mentioned, like another very important rule, you can only send coin to coin. You can only send coin to coin, meaning you can send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin address. You cannot send Bitcoin to an Ethereum address or Ethereum to CRO or whatever. If you do, it will leave your wallet, but it will not get anywhere and you lose it. So when you send money, it needs to be from Ethereum to Ethereum, Polkadot to Polkadot. You cannot do it the other way around. So if you want to send somebody Polkadot and you don't have it, you need to swap your coin to Polkadot, and then you have a Polkadot address, and then you can send it.
Within crypto.com, you can convert.
Yeah, you can convert the coins. Yes. Like I use like Uniswap, MetaMask. I mean, you can swap your coins everywhere. But you need to be you're getting a little bit smart with that because you have done conversion rates and you need to pay some fees because this is how the exchanges make money. Yeah.
I have a question about the US dollar and the stable coins.
Yeah.
And there's so much talk about devaluation of fiat currencies. How do you believe that will impact what you're calling the stable coins?
The US government is actually looking at, I think it was the US dollar coin to make it a new crypto stable US dollar in the digital world. Yeah, so like, yes, fiat is plunging. I mean, they're just printing money. I mean, it's unbelievable. So there's nothing behind it anymore. So the banks and the governments also realize that they need to go to something new. Yeah, because you cannot keep on printing money. It's just useless.
I just want to offer a little bit of a different perspective. I mean, I think I've been now associated with crypto for about 4 or 5 years. I don't use stable coins.
Okay.
I probably used the stablecoin once or twice when I needed to buy without stablecoin some obscure cryptocurrency on a Chinese exchange. OKEX, you probably know that exchange. If I have a profit, I just convert it usually to Bitcoin or Ethereum. Depends on the balance of what it is. But actually, my objective is not US dollar. My objective is more Bitcoin.
Yes.
So depends on the position of Bitcoin. If I'm in profit and anything, I just convert it in Bitcoin. And only when I need to spend, like when I need to pay something, that's the only point when I convert it to the fiat. Just a different perspective of playing this game. And another way to avoid attachment, at least at the moment, is to use Bitcoin Visa cards. There is actually a company called Banquera. I don't know if you heard of it. It's in
Spanish.
In Lithuania.
Okay.
And they actually will issue you also a virtual card, so you don't actually need to get the card in your hand. And Binance is doing now a Visa card. So there's many ways to spend your crypto rather than, because your tax point is where you convert it back into whatever. I'm Australian, so Australian dollar or US dollar. That's your tax point. But if you just spend your crypto, then it's, the whole idea is to get out of this centralized system where they tax us to death and they spend our money on things that we don't want them to spend our money. So, because I first got into Bitcoin, I didn't even know that I could make money over it, but the idea of freedom and out of, getting rid of the banks and the middlemen was very appealing.
Yeah, good point.
I would like to share something because my bank constantly cancel the transaction. If I want to deposit to buy crypto, they say they don't allow to buy cryptocurrency. So most of the with most of the exchanges who you can deposit first your money, the beneficiary name is the bank. Crypto.com, the beneficiary name is your name. So you have your own bank account name. So then the banks, they don't know that you transfer it to a crypto account. So if you guys want to try, maybe crypto.com.
Thank you.
What do you think of the security difference in leaving your cash on the exchange like Binance.com rather than on a hard wallet? Because Binance was hacked a few years ago. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, like that's the risk of new technology. You know, these guys that come up with the systems or smarter people that hack it against go like it's new technology. It will continue happening for a little while. The recommendation is also that don't leave your digital money in one place. Yeah, so if you have Ethereum, just move it around in different wallets. So if you lose it, it could happen. Yeah, nothing is guaranteed, but like then at least you don't lose everything.
Do you think where the exchange is based makes any difference to your decision? Like say 2OB or OKEX, as you were saying, are based in China rather than...
Yeah, I haven't looked at that. I know like Coinbase is out of Malta in Europe. So I actually connected that to my US bank account and it went pretty easy. But I think to your point, I think that the banks are also not stupid. They see their world vanishing. Yes, they're slowing this thing down with their, with their media information, trying to scare people off or making it more difficult to get your money. But it's possible to get it in there for sure.
If you're European, I would use Kraken.
Kraken.
If you're European.
And another thing is that it's better don't leave a lot of money in the exchanges because the exchanges are not the blockchain. It's like a website. So if you want to be in Bitcoin and you are in an exchange, you don't own the Bitcoin. You need to have the keys to own the Bitcoin. And then if the exchange is hacked, you don't care about that. But always you have to have the exchange, right? And it's the problem that you have to go from the exchange to the hardware wallet and
Yeah, what I'm planning to do is to set up different classes so I can put a class together with some people that know about wallets and to explain to you how wallets work and which ones are out there. Then we can do a class on Visa cards and we can do some research on what Visa cards you can use or exchanges to which countries. Just maybe to help you out as a class. Yes, sir.
I got a bit confused a few minutes ago when you made a point that it's maybe a goal to just switch completely from using fiat money to crypto.
Yep.
But then before you said if I pay you a coffee instead of 100 baht, I'll pay $8. So how do I actually switch to using crypto without being scammed or paying more on each transaction? Like what's the value then?
It's
No,
not.
no, he said that it cost 100 baht, but then it went up. So
Yeah.
at
So
that moment,
I'm not actually paying $8, but you're making 8?
No, basically you give me if you give me like Bitcoin 2 weeks ago and you give the value of that Bitcoin was 30,000, say, yeah. If you look at that value now, it's now worth 37,000.
Right.
So
Does it mean
I
I made a bad deal or you made a good one?
made a good one.
And for me it's the same. When in the moment that I buy the coffee, I'm not missing out, like losing out.
exactly.
Well, if you had held on to your money for that 2 weeks, it would have gone up in value.
So I should have bought more Bitcoin instead of a coffee.
That's a very good point. Yeah, because I borrowed somebody also some I borrowed somebody like 2 Ethereum 2 weeks ago, but I didn't buy a new one at the same time. So basically, I felt for a little while like freak. I missed out on $2,000. Yeah, but that's the whole thing that you need to start realizing how this new digital world works. But it's all about the current value. But I am also realistic enough to go like what's currently happening is not sustainable. It will come down. It will come down. But the question is how much. But in general, it will go up. And the reason why is because of what I showed you in the first slide about all this money that's coming into the market. So people are going to buy coins, meaning there's less coins, there's more value in all these coins.
a little advice I give to everybody who's a beginner is like, if you buy, just don't sell. Especially in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Even if Ethereum goes to 5,000, don't sell it, because I think it goes to 50,000. I mean, when I first bought Bitcoin, the next week it dropped 60%. But I studied it for 6 months and I was so sure about it that I didn't care. I mean, I just spent all this money. I took half my life savings, like you. I bought, and the next week it dropped 60%. But I understood it already, so I didn't care.
But that's the fear factor in the curve. Like,
Yeah.
my God.
So if you buy, just don't worry. Don't continue to look every day. Don't start trading if you don't have a clue about trading because you're going to lose money. Just buy. In 6 months, you're going to be quite comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, because now we're on this curve. Bitcoin goes to these waves.
Yeah.
And like you explained, every 4 years, Bitcoin rewards get cut in half. So it's the same pattern. Now the pattern is like this. Then the pattern will drop. You know, the pattern is like this. Don't look at it in the next 6 months if you have any money. Just buy and forget about the dips. If you want to start trading, I mean, I think you're going to start a trading movement.
Crypto corner right there. You want to come do day trading and share what you're doing? Please do. And the terminology is hodl. Hold on to it. But somebody, it's HODL. It's called hodl because somebody misspelled it once and they adopted that word as hold your currency, don't sell it. Hodl.
So even buying now, even though Bitcoin's high, it's still, in your estimation, it's still a good
Well,
long-term one.
Edwin was saying before that he's waiting for a dip and things, and I know we're all waiting for dips, but it's very hard to know if dips will come because we're in a new reality. Government is printing money. Like, it's a new economic experiment that's never happened before. So even when I look at charts, the charts even don't behave the way, because every day they're printing money, there's free money there. Like in the US, everybody's getting a check, $2,000. I mean, that check goes into Robinhood. I don't know if most of you might know what. It goes into Robinhood or into crypto. So charts don't behave the way they behaved in the past. And I don't know if dips come. Dips are really good if you're day trading.
Yeah.
But if you're going to buy and just invest, I would buy just say $100 today, $100 tomorrow, $100 up. If you don't buy all at once, it's called cost averaging.
But you're still doing the same coin? You're still in Bitcoin or other ones?
Huh?
Are you doing like alternative coins, like exotic ones?
Uniswap is a headache. I find Uniswap, it just has, for me, it just has too much high fees and it's just a headache. But yeah, of course, I'm in many coins. I'm a firm believer in Cardano.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, some of it is still gambling because I bought like a couple of coins that are worth like 2 cents. Yeah. But I just envision, because this is what happened in the crypto world with Bitcoin, you buy something for 2 cents at the moment. If it goes to $10, I can buy myself a new scooter.
But look, I mean, crypto is not only technology. Look at Doge. Look at Dogecoin. Just because it's a cute dog, it's one of the most popular currencies in crypto.
Yeah.
And I admit, 4 years ago invested in this and I made a lot of money because I liked the dog. It was so cute. and everybody likes the dog. And it's the coin of crypto. So even though it has no technology behind it, it has the biggest community in crypto. Everybody loves this dog. So I personally...
Hey, if it works, it works, right?
What?
If it works, it works.
It's number 28 in the crypto market cap. It has no technology behind it. It's a fork of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be one of the biggest coins ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, to give you an idea, another example here. Okay, so where else can you use this blockchain technology? If you're thinking about manufacturing or food, or pharmacy, pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I come from I still work for a pharmaceutical company. But if you imagine that this pharmaceutical company, the pills that you take or the medicine that you take, they have a label on it, but the pharmaceutical company holds all the information about the ingredients, the manufacturing process, the batch number, who was it, like the formula, that what they put in this liquid. Yeah, but they have the computer system capsuled because it's part of this pharmaceutical company. Now, if you imagine that this pharmaceutical company would start using blockchain technology, where they basically all the transactions from the raw materials that they built, they put it in mixing tanks and they make the solutions based on certain formulas. It has basically the quality standards that they need to, they need to register all that. They can see the time that it was put in a certain batch on a certain manufacturing line, when it actually was quality approved, when it actually went to the warehouse, when it went to the distributor. the pharmaceutical people across the street and actually when you use it. Now imagine that all these transactions and all this information is in blockchains that they cannot change. And the original farmer, that grows whatever crops they grow for the medication, or the manufacturing sites over there, they're all connected in blockchains. And blockchains cannot be manipulated. Which means that if you take your bottle of pills and you scan it on your phone, you can see what farmer was at the beginning of that product. So if you're thinking about, we're all vegetarians and vegans and food is really important, and where does my milk come from? That is all going to change, because with blockchain you should be able to see exactly where the cow is walking that actually produced the milk today. Yeah, and that's where the value of blockchain technology comes in. And I've seen the British Society of Innovation, they were using cases that they built with TRAC, T-R-A-C, TRAC, and basically that's exactly what they were doing. They showcase already like 5 high-profile projects that they were doing with different manufacturers about showing where blockchain technology fits into their current IT landscapes. Makes total sense.
That's why you should invest in VeChain.
Which one? VJ?
VeChain supply chain.
Yeah.
Can you talk about mixes? Because I don't know much about mixes.
I don't know either. Anybody? Where is Mike? Where's Mike? Mike is no longer here. He's a techie, he might know. Mixers. I don't know.
Mixes is for privacy, basically.
No, but you know how to use mixes and what's the safe ways to use mixes.
The Wasabi, for example, wallet, or there are several ones. But
what
right now, I think I don't recommend anybody to use Wasabi wallet or mixes, because
But what do they do? What is the principle behind it?
privacy. Basically, mixing wallets,
Okay.
so then they don't know where is going your money. Because right now with blockchain analysis, most of the public blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these ones, it's possible to track where is going your money,
Yeah,
especially with
that's why I want to know about mixes.
yeah. So it's a quite tricky subject. But
Yeah.
right now it's like there are public chains and private chains, and it's a big topic now in crypto.
Yeah, basically what that means is like if you have an address, because every wallet that you have has an address. If you type it in on the internet and you go to Etherscan, maybe too technical, but you type in that address and you put it in Etherscan, you can see what I have in my wallet. Yeah, but it's just a string, so you have no idea what it means. But you can see what's in that wallet, which means what I said before. If you move your money into your first wallet, you can see where you moved it to. But if you then move it to 2 other wallets, you have no idea where it is, and that's the biggest problem for governments, because they don't know. Yeah, they can see the first step, but after that, there's just no way. There's just no way that that you have to release your private wallet in Exodus, for instance, or have to identify yourself that that's you. And I know that the regulations will start looking at this, that they will start blocking private wallets. But you need to imagine that this is a global world now. Yeah, so even if the US says, oh, you cannot use Exodus, that doesn't mean that the rest of the world cannot use Exodus.
I recommend Exodus to every beginner.
Yes. Exodus is a private, it's a wallet, very easy. You can see your portfolio is beautifully done.
And so in regard to wallets, in theory, how they work is that they're stored with you. Basically, they're a local file that you have on your computer or your phone.
It's different. You can have it on I said you can have it on your, like I have Exodus on my laptop, but you can have it on your phone too. Like,
Can I have it at the same time? So if I lose my phone, I can still access that wallet from my computer? Or is that
with the
only one
exchanges, yes, because you can just log into it if you have all your security. Yeah, so if you that's why if your laptop crashes and you have all your security words and your secret passwords and all that stuff, you can restore your computer and you can access your wallet again. But for instance, Coinbase has a digital wallet on your phone and they have one online, but those wallets are not the same. They also hold different coins. You can exchange it really easily, yeah, but they're not the same. But it's a combo.
Can I disable one from the other in case I lose one device for security reasons? And if I still have access to one, can I say the other one has to be shut down now?
Don't lose your phone.
Like delete your iPhone when you lose it?
Yeah, to be honest, like I don't know for sure that if you make an iPhone backup or a phone backup that it restores all the data. It should, but I don't know. You better do your homework because I'm getting so paranoid that I don't take my phone elsewhere anymore. I go like, okay.
But the easy way to think is like you log into Facebook. So you can log in wherever you want if you keep all your passwords and IDs and identification. If it's a exchange wallet. If it's
I
a
can
wallet,
use the device as soon as I have the login info. I can
yeah,
still
yeah.
get into my.
And you have you have several ways to log in, and there's several passwords or ways to log in. But if you have that, you can do it.
I'll do a workshop on wallets.
Yeah.
Edwin, can we make maybe a trading room meeting one day so we can share trading ideas? Like,
I built a room. People will come. Yes, for sure. That's what I built it. Like, yeah, I wanted to see what the interest is for people because I know there's so many questions. But I know that day trading, people already ask me wallets. You know, we can talk about exchanges. We can go into like more technical things about how gas money works. But this is more like for IT techies that are interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, but we can talk about the nano hardware wallets. So you go like, it is where you're interested, or if you need help, you know, getting into the crypto world and you get some crypto, I can help you out and to get you started. Because yes, it will be more tricky to get verified by these exchanges because they're slowing it down. Yeah, they want to control it. But even if you get into the crypto world this year, you're going to be taxable next year. And to your point, saying if by then you have all the crypto money you pay with crypto and you don't take it out, they're not going to be able to tax you anyway. And technology will always go faster these days than what the governments can come up with. That's what I believe.
Sorry, just to confirm,
Yes.
obviously you touched on federal government potentially being able to sort of tax us and get involved in that way. You're predicting what, a year, 2 years before that comes to fruition?
Right now there's legislations and proposals from the government, but it will take a year to implement those. What I've seen is that obviously they are getting on the exchanges, and the exchanges have to register as a money exchange. And if they don't do that, they'll shut them down, and they have the power to do that.
So emphasis to
Yeah.
invest now
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
Sorry, I did have two questions. The second one being out of the three platforms that you mentioned, Ethereum, Polkadot,
Polkadot,
and Bitcoin. For a first-time investor, what would you recommend?
Ethereum and Polkadot.
Oh, the latter two.
Yeah, that would be my personal, because that's where I put my money. There's actually There's actually a very interesting project right down here on the island too. It's called Paid.network, and these guys are actually building a new application for the legal systems in the US, where you basically create legal contracts where you put them onto blockchain technology and smart contracts. So you don't per se, the whole idea is that you don't need a lawyer anymore to charge you $1,000 an hour. You can use their technology and smart contracts to make a contract with anybody or a company, and you put it in this smart contract, and once this contract is fulfilled, then the settlement gets done financially. Very interesting concept. Smart contracts. That's what they're talking about also in blockchain technology, because everything becomes digital. It's all about smart contracts. Tokenizing are basically smart contracts. Anything. Any other questions? Yes?
How much time do you spend daily monitoring?
Oh, I dream about it by now. I dream about it. At the moment, I would say 4 or 5 hours, but I want to do more. But I just
How do
have
you
to.
manage a full-time job plus this?
This is my full-time job now. If you ask me personally, go like, okay, so Buddha Cafe, go like, it's great. You know, it's. But if you ask me, go like, where is the money? It's right there. It's in cryptocurrency. So I can make, you can make more money in the crypto world than any other job, as you say. Even if you start doing it a couple hours a day, you just need to invest the time to start reading and try to understand.
Second question, where do you store your passwords?
I cannot tell you that. I cannot tell you. I use different things. But I make a backup of a backup, and
Yeah, I mean, where could I store
no,
mine?
whatever you do, don't store it online. But the rest you have to figure out, be imaginative.
The wallet seminaries.
I went through the whole crazy ways to steal passwords.
actually for years and years I use this, it's an open source tool called Password Safe. You can just download it. I've been using it for 15 years without a problem. And that's where you basically can keep all your password without that file, and I make backups of that one. Without that file, I would be completely screwed for all IT
But
systems.
is that online password?
No. I think that they don't do that. Basically, it's on your
I don't
computer.
trust anything that has any connection.
Well, yeah.
There are
But then I was
thousand
thinking,
ways.
then I start, you wake up sweating, and they go like, okay, should I start writing everything down? I go like, no, because people can see it. I could lose it. Then a hardware wallet, put it in a hardware, but I can lose that's freaking key. So
Scavenger hunt.
yeah, they go like, no.
Like a chip, right?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because the guy that actually invented these Bitcoin ATMs, he has a chip surgically implanted in his arm. So when he goes, he just scans his arm. So he has a chip where his Bitcoins are in his arm.
Oh my god.
Then I was thinking they could still take his arm, and you can go like,
You know, I don't know if anybody here of Andreas, what's his last name? The Greek guy that talks about
Andreas Antonopoulos.
Antonopoulos. And he's probably one of the pioneers of Bitcoin, and he uses only paper wallets. He doesn't use Ledger, Trezor, he doesn't use anything. He just uses paper wallets. Paper wallet is just get a piece of paper, the code and everything. It doesn't exist anywhere else. It doesn't use anything else.
yep. Yeah,
It's not so practical, but if you're in one place, you have a good safe or something.
yeah, you could do that too. People do that too. Then you go back to the same bank that are now losing their business, and you rent a little safe deposit box, and you put your keys there. They can still make some money.
Just memorize it.
You can't.
No, I have a friend who has a photographic memory. He memorized all his 24.
Yeah. And then he crashes on a scooter, and he wakes up and go like, where am I? I have to go like, what?
No, it's amazing. He knows all his passwords.
Really? Well, I don't know how I would do that. But yes, that becomes you're your own bank. You lose your information, you lose everything. Any other questions? If not, then thank you very much, and I go like see what you want to do. If you want to come talk, or I'll put it on the crypto WhatsApp group. If you're not a member yet, you can join that group, and we'll just post messages for when we do like classes here. If you want to join or have questions, it's growing. So thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You want to explain base protocol number?
Sure. Base protocol is a coin that represents the entire coin market. Yes. So they call it synthetic and elastic, and what it basically means that every 24 hours, and they have a dashboard that you can see. Every 24 hours, they do what they call a rebase, because there's more money going into it now, so you can see the money going up. But they peg the value of that one coin to 1 trillionth of the entire money in crypto. So after today, it should be worth $1. Yes, and what they do is, in order for this coin, and that's why they call it elastic, they basically make this adjustment also in the number of coins that are in the market. So if it becomes too expensive, yeah, then they add more coins, so the price goes down. When it's too cheap, they remove coins and the price goes up. My personal experience with this one is a little bit tricky, because I initially made like a lot of money with that one, and I lost half of it. Yeah, but the way you can make money with this coin is if you do it every 24 hours. This is how, because the trick.
It's not a coin to hold on.
No, it's not a coin like.
And if I just bought some because on value liquidity, they're offering $3,000 APR, so 3,000% APR. So I'm like, okay, let me check that out.
And the reason why.
Into it, it lost so much value really fast.
I think the reason why is because people have not bought enough coins yet. Once people, because I'm just going to hold on to them. But every day, if you see that this coin, for instance, if you look at it today or right now, and the price is like 50 cents, you should buy it now. You should wake up at 4 a.m. because at 5 a.m. they do the rebase. And if it's then close to $1, you sell it before the rebase, because then you can make 40 cents on the coin. That's the trick. But it's not. It's a rather new one. But it's a tricky one. Yeah? But they do the rebase every morning at 5 a.m., which sucks for our time. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in Empty for a while. Empty does the same thing.
Yeah,
but it seems less volatile.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy, because what actually happens, I got them on my phone, yeah, in the phone wallet, But they say, my brain is programmed that if you buy 100 coins, you get 100 coins. But they actually reduce the number of coins in your wallet. Yeah? So how you get the same share of all the coins, but they're reducing it. So I got like, I actually called Coinbase because I said there's a problem with my wallet because yesterday I had 4,000 and now I have 2. Yeah, but the reason why they can do that, because actually this whole crypto world, you don't actually have coins in your wallet. Like you have money in the bank. You basically have what they call unspent transactions. Yeah, and that's why they can still manipulate the money in your wallet. Okay. Then thank you. See you later.
Next presentation. We were online, so that was